Please join me in Gasho. Palms together. Namo Amidavits, Namo Amidavits, Namandavits, 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 Namandavits. Welcome. My name is Reverend John Turner, and this is a Dharma talk that I'm doing from my upstairs office area due to the coronavirus closures. We're all practicing social distancing to make the world a safer place. Part of this is out of personal necessity, but it's also important that we don't just think about our risk, but also the responsibility that we have to others. So this is this Buddhist ideal that when you think of oneself, you also think of others. And so we do this for two reasons: for our own personal risk, and also the responsibility we share to help others in the world be healthy. So today, I would like to talk about the work we do as Buddhists and the practice we engage in just for emergencies like this. The coronavirus is very unsettling. It's very unnerving. I have little waves of anxiety here and there. I thought it was quite ironic that when they told us to stay in place, stay at home, and social distance, many of us felt a need to run to Costco to buy toilet paper. And I thought to myself, you know, you're actually putting yourself in greater harm and greater risk by crowding into a Costco, shoulder to shoulder, everybody pawing at toilet paper. And so in Buddhism, this isn't evil or sinful or selfish. It's a lack of insight. We panic, we have anxiety, and that affects the way we think. And so a lot of Buddhist practice is to help us stay calm, stay focused, and really see where we're headed. And there's one of the reasons why people rush out to get toilet paper is, I think, a need to feel that they're in control, to feel safe. There's a need there. And I think what happens is we confuse control with being relaxed. Even Darth Vader, I think he was misunderstood or misled. He thought if he could control the universe, nothing would ever bad happen to him. And all it did was cause suffering. So today what I wanted to talk about was relaxing our control over all the events in our lives so that we can relax and control what is most important. So a lot of these things are a little bit paradoxical, but this is very common in Buddhism. If you don't try to control the things you can't control, then you'll be able to focus on the things you can. And in doing so, you'll relax and not worry about all the other things that are beyond one's control. And it also relieves a sense of guilt or anxiety, fault. So I'd like to be able to go through this with you and share some of my personal experiences with you. One example I had in my life is a very, very close relative of mine came down with cancer. And this was the third time that this person had it. And I didn't really understand why, but I was really having a hard time dealing with it. I'd been practicing Buddhism for maybe 10 years, and I felt like I'd done the work, and I should be better at this. And one time in the doctor's office, the doctor and the patient, this friend of mine, actually had to leave the office because I was having an anxiety attack. I was sweating profusely. I thought I was going to throw up. I had to lie down on the examination table with that little white paper cover. And I thought, this is getting out of control. And almost like a scene from Dark Mirror, every morning I'd wake up and I'd realize, oh my gosh, they have cancer. Every morning I'd relive the moment I realized they had cancer. I would forget during the night and then relive it in the morning. And what happened with me that really helped was I did practice self-awareness and mindfulness. And I really tried to ask myself, why am I so upset? Why does this bother me so much? And I thought about it and I came up with two things. These are worldviews. We discussed these in the online school. It's a way of looking at the world that's in our culture. And one of them was, I really felt that bad things shouldn't happen to good people. Otherwise, why be good? I thought that was the whole point of being good. And this person I knew was a very good person. And it didn't seem fair. Shouldn't somebody more deserving have cancer? And then the second thing I realized is I had this belief that life is somehow fair. It's not fair to get cancer a third time or a fourth time if you've already had it. It's someone else's turn. And so these were the two deep-seated beliefs I had that really caused me unhappiness. And when I realized that these were just constructs, these were just narratives that I was living by, and I was able to let them go, then I was able to embrace the diagnosis and the treatment. And I even came to the realization that this friend of mine was either healed or not. I just didn't know yet. I just didn't know if the treatment was going to work. So I began to relax. And it was also out of my hands. The oncologist knew. He told us, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I've seen this kind of genetic cancer before. If you do what I tell you, you'll be fine. And so I also had to have faith. We use that word in Buddhism to mean a deep knowing. I had faith and confidence in this doctor. And so once I quit thinking about fairness and bad things happening to good people, I was able to see it as just causes and conditions. And the why them, went away. I don't think any answer would have satisfied me, but it's one of those things, it's an infinite number of causes and conditions, and no one knows why. Some people get cancer, some people don't. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to think about what I shoulda or coulda have done. And I think this is going on right now with the coronavirus. Let's not go off the deep end. Let's focus on what we can control, and let's be mindful and be aware. So in Buddhism, I like to tell people that practice is what we've been doing as Buddhists for moments like this, for a pandemic. It's not a hobby. I don't think it's a leisure activity. It's something you do to prepare for life's big moments. And I think when times get tough, I think it's a mistake to say, well, I don't have time to practice right now because I've got to care for my friend who has cancer. I think it's time to really double down on your practice. So if you do the work and you practice, I think we're better able to deal with situations like this. Able to self-reflect, try to figure out what's going on. I notice right now, I used to love staying at home and relaxing and watching SportsCenter when I was maybe off from work. But now that the government's telling me I have to stay home and watch SportsCenter, it's driving me crazy. I don't like it. I like it when I decide. I like it when everybody else is working and I'm at home relaxing watching SportsCenter. But it's weird. It's the exact same activity, and yet it's bothering me for some reason. So in the Buddhist tradition, we do several things to develop awareness, mindfulness, to do things with intentionality, to not be reactive, to not panic. And one of those is breathing, is breath. One example I've been told is that if you breathe up high in your chest and you raise your shoulders up, this is naturally anxiety causing. So in the Buddhist tradition, the experiment is you put your hand on your chest and your hand on your lower abdomen, and you want no motion in your shoulders and chest, and you want your stomach moving in and out like a bellows. This type of breathing is naturally calming. It's a life hack. If you do this when you start to feel anxious, it will really help you calm down. I've been doing it for the last week. And if you do this long enough, it becomes second nature and muscle memory kicks in. Even when I go to get my blood pressure at the doctor's office, she always tells me, breathe in through your mouth, deep into your stomach, and then exhale out with your abdomen. Don't move your chest, close your eyes. And it naturally brings down blood pressure and anxiety and pulse. Another thing we do is chant. Chanting, focusing on the next syllable, saying a word. You may go to yoga and say namaste or om. There's various chants in the yoga tradition. Saying your mother's name, saying your children's names, saying names, saying phrases. are a way of engaging and committing. And when you say it and you hear it, you feel it. So you could even mouth relax or breathe. And these are commands that affect your heart because you say them and hear them. There's a very positive feedback loop. Another aspect is bowing. You don't have to literally bow, but a sense of gratitude. Today, it's wonderful. It's not raining anymore. The sun is out. My dog is actually thrilled with the pandemic. We're home every day. She's getting scratches all day long on her tummy, and she gets to go on a 5-mile walk every day, and she's ecstatic. So, there's sunshine behind every dark cloud if we just look for it with humility and gratitude. And then the last thing is to be self-aware. If you start to feel like you're about to get angry, take a deep breath. With family members right now, and friends, it's really important that we pull on the rope on the same side. We don't want to have a tug-of-war. If a family member is upset, give them some space. Don't react in kind. Be understanding. I mean, you can identify with their feelings because you're likely having them too. So, you don't have to take the bait. We all need to join together in oneness as a community in responsibility and help all of us get through this major historical event. I haven't seen anything like this in my lifetime. You may have to go back to 1918 for the Spanish flu to see anything like this. So next, this is where the Buddhism comes in. My wife showed me this on Facebook. It says, relax. Nothing is under control. So this is kind of a paradox. How can you relax if nothing's under control? Well, it means relax and stop trying to control the things you can't control. A lot of this is out of our control. The mechanics of virology and epidemiology and exponential growth, all you can do is your part. You're not responsible for everyone or everything. But if everybody does their little bit, if everybody's a bee in a beehive, communally, we will respond quite well. And then this is kind of a positive caveat to the previous slide. When you try to control everything, you enjoy nothing. Sometimes you just need to relax, breathe, let go, and just live in the moment. So for me, instead of wondering about watching ESPN for the next 8 weeks by force, I'm able to say to myself, I'm going to watch ESPN for an hour. I can do that. That's easy. So don't try to think of an 8-week task. Don't think about an 8-week lockdown. All you have to do is get through today. You just got to make it to dinner. And then you're so lucky if you're at home, sleeping in your own bed. You're not ill. And so just relax and live in the moment. And then I think this is step number 12 maybe for Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't know where it came from. I thought maybe Mark Twain said something like this because he always does. But I've always loved this quote. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this might be something you might chant to yourself. This is self-awareness. This is living in the now. This is a positive way to affect your lives and those around you, focusing on the things you have control over and not letting the things that you don't overwhelm you. So please, let's chant something very important in the Pure Land tradition, Namo Amida Butsu. Put your hands together. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And I would like to close with an informational message here real quick. We have OCBC Dharma Net. We have the online school at everydaybuddhist.org. The OCBC homepage at ocbuddhist.org. We have a Orange County Buddhist Church YouTube channel. It's at bit.ly, OCBC-YT. and the Weekly Wheel podcast at bit.ly/OCBC-WW. And for the YouTube channel, you can go to YouTube and search for the Orange County Buddhist Church and find it. And for the Weekly Wheel podcast, if you want, you can go to Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. And you can find it there by just doing a search. Those bit.ly links are shortcuts for those who just want to click. So thank you very much. I will see you soon. And please stay healthy, get a lot of sleep, take your vitamins. Thank you very much.